Election trigger. Carney's budget or Canada votes. Buddy, Ottawa just chambered a live round. One budget, one confidence vote, one bad roll, and we are back at the polls. This is not palace gossip. It's your mortgage, your grocery bill, your job, and Canada's place in a world where nice gets you nothing. On November 4th, Mark Carney will drop his first full budget. If it flops in the House, Parliament burns down before Christmas. Stick with me, because by the end, you will know exactly who is bluffing, who's broke, and who's ready to pull the plug. Facts first. Carney runs a minority. Every vote is hostage-taking with nicer suits. He needs one partner to hold their nose and vote yes. Otherwise, election writs fly. House Leader Stephen McKinnon already said it out loud. If the opposition refuses to back the budget, election there will be. That's not gossip.
If an election is necessary, we would obviously, reluctantly, because we don't think Canadians want an election, but election there will be.
That's the government cocking the hammer. Let's talk seat math and money. The real currency in Ottawa. Liberals cannot pass a Kleenex without help. Bloc Québécois, flirting. Conservatives, smelling blood. And NDP, they are the hinge. Interim leader Don Davies wants housing, healthcare, and jobs. No red lines, but the guns on the table. So Carney has to buy that vote the old-fashioned way, with policy and cash. Quick pit stop. Hit subscribe if you want more of this straight talk, and grab a membership if you want to help me keep it independent. Alright, now back to it. Here is what fries me. Ottawa plays poker with your life. We are juggling rent spikes, food bills, and job cuts. And they are daring each other to blink first. You can either deliver a budget that helps Canadians now, or you face Canadians now. Period. And if you are wondering what the scoreboard says, prices still rising. The bold talk hasn't reached the checkout line. Fresh StatsCan data, 2.4% inflation in September, up from 1.9. Food plus 4%. That's not a chart. It's a pickpocket. Carney admits it himself. Inflation is down, but the cost of living is still far too high.
Look, the situation in Canada now, the actual situation, is that the rate of inflation has come down. It's come down sharply. But it's also the case that the cost of living is still far too high.
Bank of Canada meets October 29th with a rate cut on the table again. Cut too deep, loony tanks. Hold tight, mortgages choke. Either way, the economy is the tripwire. Carney just told the country he is done managing decline. Quote, "We need to build in this country. We can build again."
We used to build things in this country. We can build again. We used to explore this country. We can chart new courses again. We used to take big, bold risks in this country. It is time to swing for the fences again.
He is framing this budget as discipline plus big bets. Trim fat, spend bold. Defense, energy, housing, infrastructure, the whole nation-building sermon. And he dropped a deadline. Buy the Grey Cup. That's not policy. That's theater.
Our next tranche of nation-building projects will be announced by the Grey Cup. After the World Series, but by the Grey Cup.
He's turning Canada's biggest football game into a PR halftime show for billion-dollar announcements. Sounds patriotic, looks cinematic, but underneath, it's still a confidence vote with the fuse attached. Then came the shot heard around Washington. He said it plain. The U.S. has fundamentally changed its approach to trade.
The world is more dangerous and divided. The U.S., as we all know, has fundamentally changed its approach to trade.
Translation? Trump's tariff war is back, and Canada is done playing nice. He is promising a buy Canadian revolution. Right now, 70 cents of every defense dollar we spend goes south. Carney says that ends. Canadian steel, Canadian tech, Canadian jobs. Sounds great till tariffs hit back. This budget is not just fiscal. It's geopolitical whiplash. You notice the shift? Carney used to talk like a banker. Now he talks like a builder. Fortune favors the bold.
And we've learned that now is not the time to be cautious because fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, Mark. But when it's my mortgage on the line, that boldness better pay. We have seen this movie. Grand speeches, small follow through. Don't tell us to swing for the fences when folks cannot afford the bleachers. Two wild cards could flip this table. One, the CRA meltdown. Auditor General says their call accuracy is 17%. They want to automate tax filing next year. If that rollout crashes, it's a campaign issue overnight. 2. The BC land shock. Court recognized Covichan Aboriginal title over chunks of Richmond. Legal chaos, real estate panic, national implications. Nobody wants that file mid-campaign. But it's here. Add one tariff flare-up from Trump and you've got election gasoline. So how do they vote? Conservatives know, obviously. They will paint him as Trudeau 2.0 with better hair and bigger budgets. Bloc Québécois will demand Quebec carve-outs before pretending to be shocked. NDP? The pivot. Davies can't back austerity. But he can't own an election either. If Carney dangles housing funds and healthcare cash, the NDP swallows hard and props him up. If he lowballs them, snap election. Cue snow day ballots. Here is the blunt truth. November 4 is the tripwire. Carney's speech was a campaign launch in everything but name. Build again. Buy Canadian. Grey Cup deadline. But if the budget reads like another Ottawa word salad, Canadians won't buy the sequel. So the question is not if there will be an election. It's who pulls the trigger first. If the opposition tanks it, they will say they stood for affordability. If Carney survives it, he gets a blank check till 2026. Either way, your grocery bill and rent check are the chips on the table. So, Canada, should the NDP hold their nose to keep this government alive for housing and healthcare? Or do we rip the band-aid and vote again? Tell me below in the comments. Because this is not about Ottawa's feelings. It's about whether your family can make it to Christmas without another price hike. And we will know come budget day or the Grey Cup who's bluffing. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.